Pretty penny. Man, what a hot truck. I've got Daniel Stewart, signature performance. You got to be on cloud nine. I mean, this truck is just, it's so awesome. So thank you for taking time to shoot some content, some video with us and talk about your 67, 68 C10. I love it. And welcome to the pod.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
You got it.
Yeah.
Tell us about your truck, brother.
All right. So, building vehicles is something I've been doing for a long time, and own Signature Performance in Costa Mesa. I've built a lot of lifted trucks, built some side-by-sides, but this vehicle is personal for me. I told my wife when I was going to hit my 10 years sober that I was going to build my dream truck, which is the C10.
Yeah.
And so for my 9 years sober, we had a surprise party at my house, and then she also surprised me with my dream truck. So for the last 2 years-ish, we've been working on this truck, and really happy to display it here in the TMI booth.
What a rad story. And I don't want to jump ahead, but I hope he gets a C20, for the 20 years sober. But we've got some time to figure that one out. Maybe a K20. We'll see what happens. But congratulations nonetheless.
Thank you.
Tell us about the journey on the build, because, I mean, this thing is absolutely stunning. It's cool that you have that background in the automotive world, but you did all the right moves. You know what I mean? The color and the way you put it all together in your team. So tell us a little bit about that journey.
Sure. So when we first got the truck, obviously I hadn't done much planning. So it was like, well, let me just enjoy it for a minute. Let
me interrupt real quick. When you got the truck, what kind of truck did you get for your reward?
Sure. So it was a original 1970 GMC original short bed truck.
Okay. Good shape.
And great shape.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Great shape. Motor wasn't running real well, so we spent 3 or 4 days getting it running enough to where I could drive it around the block, but it definitely was not reliable. And I said, oh, all right, well, I'll spend a little more time working on the motor. But in the meantime, I got to do the suspension, tires, and wheels. I got to get this thing sitting right.
I own Signature Performance. I got to make this thing look rad ass.
That's right.
Yeah.
Nothing stays stock in anything. Absolutely, right? So that's what we're here for. So I said, I'll just see what guys are doing for an inexpensive airbag job, And so I was popping around in some forums, talking to some guys, and the guy's like, hey, I have a frame that I started, but not really interested. So I had to call my wife a week and a half in and say, hey, babe, I know you got me the truck, but I also have a frame that I'm going to start from the ground up. And she says, that's fine, but you're going to do that in the garage at home because you're not going to spend all the time at the shop. My wife is an industry person as well. She worked at K&N for 12 years. She knows probably more about motors than me. So we got to do a lot of this stuff together, and my buddy Sean. So we started with building the frame in the garage. And it's got a Porter-built 4-link rear.
With stock frame, and then you guys added some components to it.
Yes, okay. So it's a stock frame. It's got a Porter-built 4-link conversion in the rear, and it has a Porter-built cross member drop in the front.
Okay, so that's stage 1, level 1, full cross member, and control arms and everything.
Yes, okay. Upper and lower arms, as well as the LS brackets. Cool. At that point, I said, all right, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this. So I also opted for a Curry 9-inch rear end, 370 gear ratio, along with the Detroit True Track in the rear. And then to finish out the front, I went with the Willwood drop spindles, along with the Willwood big brake kit, 6-piston in the front, along with the Willwood disc brakes in the back.
So everything under this beautiful metal is awesome and ready to rip. Yes. Then you guys got together and you said, we're going to paint it a dark, like the darkest cherry, and then put some sprinkles in it, or what? Who picked the color and the whole copper and it all coming together? Because it definitely works.
Yeah, so for the 10-year medallion in Alcoholics Anonymous, it's black and gold or black and copper. And so the original idea was to have the push button, the AA medallion. And so that's kind of where the color started. We went through a lot of ideas on how to get to where we're at. I knew in my heart I wanted a modern hot rod looking truck. So I wanted modern features. I want a lot of electronics, a lot of electronic features. I wanted LED lights, and I wanted some of the new, like the flush mount glass, removal of the rain gutters, shaving of the handles. Yet I kept In the bed, I kept a working tailgate. Even though it's shaved, it's still a working tailgate. The head of the bed is stock, yet the sides are all welded smooth and shut. So I tried to find a combination. That's why I kept bumpers, front and rear as well.
Cool. Well, you brought it all together, and the thing about it is, as we evolve as a community and guys are kind of pushing that envelope, and you're taking what GM gave you, you're doing the flush mount, you're doing the mirrors, right? I think they're kind of a Veneta Fab has them, right? So those look really cool. But one part he left out is that dash doesn't go with that truck.
No. So as if my wife didn't already set the bar for all you gentlemen in surprising me with the truck, that Christmas she got me the Holley 12.1 dash. And so I was already going the LS direction. I said, okay, we're going to do everything Holley. So this is Holley Terminator X, Holley harness. Every sensor is Holley. The intake manifold's Holley. Everything's Holley. And when I went to mock that dash up, it did not look right. And for me, it's got to be flow. It's got to be usable. And when going with that modern look, I know that all these new dashes are digital and they all sit back in a panel, right? And so they all sit in a hump. So I wanted to find a dash that had that old school. I could still paint it to match, yet have a new school look. So the dash is actually out of a 63 GMC Suburban that we cut out and molded in and then modified for the Holley to have a housing.
Well, and because I'm more of a purist, I like that the truck was a 63, and for you guys that are the 63 GMC guys, you know that's the double hump, where the Chevy only has the single hump. So you got the double hump, you brought the GMC alive, you kind of kept that with it. What would you say was one of the biggest struggles? You know, these builds don't always go perfect. Did you have some hiccups or some roadblocks along the way?
I did. Definitely the biggest struggle is the copper. This is the second set of wheels. The original set of wheels I redid 4 times, could never get the copper right. 3.5 weeks before SEMA, I was able to partner with Evo 61 out of Huntington Beach. And the guys over there said, hey, look, we're going to do something one-off. So these wheels also are custom one-off. Nobody else has them. So we did a 3-piece 22 by 11 in the rear, 22 8.5 in the front. It's a copper outer lip, textured black center because we wanted some contrast against the paint, along with the copper bolts. And then they also machined the custom badging on the dash. So the Pretty Penny logo on the dash, you probably didn't see it, but if you drop the tailgate, it also has a custom copper Pretty Penny badge to tie in the bed when it's open. So really thankful for those guys. But the copper was a challenge. You know, in the beginning I was told by multiple copper places, you can't do this. You're not supposed to do this. Well, that's as good as we can get it. And we just kept pushing. And so everything from the slats in the bed are copper, the bumpers, the steering wheel, the door locks, pieces of the door handles. I bought 2 sets of brakes, gas and brake pedal. I stripped those apart so I could do a half gold, half black brake and gas pedal. I mean, really just tried to push the limit with the copper.
Well, we're glad you did, because it truly makes the truck. What you've done is a stunner. We love the truck. We love the name. And at the end of the day, I mean, congratulations on 10, which now I assume is plus years.
It is.
And then you're getting to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Have you had time to shake it down? Have you put a lot of miles on it? Or is it one of those SEMA crunches, get it here, and then kind of get a chance to take it out here in the next few weeks?
It's both. It is a SEMA crunch for sure. It wouldn't be, right? But I have drove it. And I will be driving it out. I will be driving it in the parade tonight. I do plan to go to Ignited tonight and share it with the other people that didn't get to come in and see it in the inside.
Awesome. Ignited, they're going to tear it out, take it out and tear it up, I should say. Hopefully it's you and Mama, because she's the one who got this thing for you, and hopefully you guys have a great Ignited. I just want to say thanks for taking the time, and again, congratulations on your sobriety, and absolutely love your truck. And if we could put it out more to the world, they need to see it. What's your next show? Where are you going next?
So maybe Dino's. We'll try to see. I got responsibilities with my daughter. She's competing. That comes first. But if you don't see it there, you for sure see it at the Grand National Roadster Show. I got invited to go there, and definitely some cars and coffee with all the guys, throughout Orange County, and definitely be at the Quarantine Cruise for sure.
There you go. So Daniel Stewart, signature performance, and we hope we get to see it next week, but we understand because being away from them kids is tough. Yeah. Congratulations again, you and Mama. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you. God bless you. Thank you for having me.